My name is Rafael, as mentioned before. So I'm here representing Bright Data. I'm a DevRel at Bright Data, and I'm here to talk about how real-time data can actually elevate your projects, right? So we're going to be concentrating on the Web MCP. Everybody aware what MCP protocol is? Basically, MCP is like, let's call it a USB-C for LLMs, right? So basically, they decided to kind of come up with a universal way of standardizing tools. So this way you can actually plug things and have LLM use different tools for your project. So Web MCP is basically tools that LLM can use or an AI agent can use in order to, well, in this case, access web data, right? So I do want everybody, hold on, this QR code. If you sign up right now, you'll get I think $100 bonus, maybe more. I do recommend everybody to sign up because it will give you the opportunity to actually use the product. In the MCP, there is a free tier. We can send about 5,000 requests without having to pay anything. But if you use this QR code, you're also getting bonuses, so you can actually use more than just the free tier. There's a lot of things that you can use. And let me know once everybody scanned it. For those that don't have a Bright Data account, you do need to sign up, right? So it will take maybe like 2-5 minutes. You can do it now. You can do it later. It's up to you guys when you want to do it. But do just save that the QR code. It gives you an extra promo. Just scan the QR code. I don't have the link to it. It's because it's very long and it has like embedded things in it, and nobody's going to really want to type it. Once we're done, the next thing I'm going to share is a folder I created with some of the information. I put in some use cases there. I put in a lot of things that you can later on review. Obviously, we only have a half an hour. I'm not expected to be able to cover everything in half an hour. So this is a public folder that you guys can use. It will take us here. So just to cover a little bit what we have in this folder, right? So I do have a few of the code scripts for those that are technical. Just a quick question. How many in the room present actually code, or just vibe coders here? You guys actually code, right? Perfect. So I will go a little bit into the code just to...
You're a scientist.
Just a little bit. Like if I show Visual Studio Code and we go over things, as long as people understand, because sometimes I have a crowd where people don't know any coding. So let's get to it, right? So I never understood why... Oh, now it's working. Amazing. So Bright Data MCP, right? So I'm going to go through a little bit what Bright Data does, right? So we have in Bright Data kind of all kind of layers to collect public data, right? We started with proxy infrastructure. Proxy is basically how you can change your IP and send requests through a different device. We have web access APIs to bypass robots and blocks. We have data feeds, pre-built scrapers and data sets that you can use in your projects, and so on. I want to cover a few things. What is the biggest problem right now that the AI agents are facing when they're browsing the web, right? So basically, a lot of you are familiar, captures, right? A lot of you have seen captures, a lot of you solved captures. Captures is something that is done to, prevent robots from scraping the web. And now it's becoming more and more problematic because if you want your AI agent to go to a website that is protected by Cloudflare and that extracts some data, most likely it will get blocked. I'm not sure how many of you tried, maybe with ChatGPT, tell them, hey, go to this website, do something, and it tells you it cannot because it just doesn't have access. Well, I'm going to show you how you can actually fix that. You can implement MCP, and it will have access to the web. It can open a browser. It can actually navigate somewhere. It can type. It can click, and it can actually perform what a real user does. So what are the basic blocks? IP bands, right? So you can get your IP band. You can rate limits. You cannot, if you're going to open 100 browsers right now and go to a URL, most likely you're going to get blocked, and geo restrictions, right? So these are some of the basic blocks. There's more complicated blocks, you know, by fingerprints, behavior analysis, and captures. And the goal here is to show you how to basically bypass all of that. It's with the Bright Data MCP, you kind of plug and play. You plug it in, you tell LLM, hey, listen, use these services. These are the tools that are available. Go do, and it will figure it out itself, right? What I want to show is, for example, Claude. How many of you familiar with Claude and how to use Claude? Perfect. So I have here on my personal computer a Claude installed, and if you go into the app config file, you can actually set up an MCP. Make sure that DevTools is true. I can't open it because it has my API key and I don't want to share it with everybody right now. But what I want to show you is basically go to, for example, I have here already added Bright Data products, right? So here we have some tools that it can use. And what we're going to do, go to Amazon, do a search for headphones. What are the top 5 headphones that So it's literally right now navigating with a browser to Amazon. I'm going to allow it. It's typing, it's checking, and then I'm going to disable the Bright Data. I'm going to ask it to do the same thing, and you'll see the difference. It's doing a lot of talking, but basically it's right now browsing Amazon, actually having a browser in the backend opened and actually interacting with a browser. And just for those, I want you guys to think, you know, everybody has probably already some ideas on what they want to build for this hackathon, right? So I'm sure there's a lot of projects out there that don't require public data, but what if you do add it to your project, right? Does anybody want to share maybe like an ideas, or I have a list of some of the use cases that I prepared that can elevate, like public data can actually improve. But if somebody wants to share some of the ideas that they want to build, maybe we can actually think about how public data can elevate it even more. For example, an idea, if you're building maybe a CRM. So for example, you add a person, a client, right? Or a company, you can have then an API call to our data set, or to actually LinkedIn, you can pull the data from LinkedIn for the specific user. And then, okay, he's in the company A. Then you can pull the data from LinkedIn into the company. So you can have like a smart CRM system or any other. So you basically here are the top headphones. It did a search for headphones, and these are the top 5 headphones that it found. Now, if we disable, how did I get here? Did I do a search already? Zoom in, but there's not much to see on Amazon, right? So the idea here is that, why are you in the middle of a screen? So we have, you see, Echo Buds. Where is it? We have Echo Buds, right? So basically, what I see here is what Claude saw on its end, right? So here, real-time data that was just extracted from Amazon in a few seconds. So this is something that you can add to your project. Now I'm not saying it needs to be Amazon. It could be any other website, any other idea of live data. But let's get back to this. And so this is one. If I disable bright data, let's see what it says if I disable the bright data. I have what else? I don't need anything. Go to Amazon and do a search for Xbox. What are the top results? Let's see if maybe Amazon is not the best site because I think that it can actually do it with its own built-in Chrome. Hold on. Any case, for complicated websites with Cloudflare, Akamai, Datadome, Bright Data is the product, right? Some of the websites you don't really need so much power, let's say, because a lot of websites don't have any kind of protection, but when they do, it will really be helpful. So just to jump a little bit into the code. So, right, if you guys are building your own AI agent and you want to integrate an MCP. So here's, for example, I'm using JavaScript with LangChain, and I'm using OpenAI to kind of process everything, right, with Bright Data MCP. So the Bright Data MCP integration is very simple, right? This is the client, Bright Data. You have the URL with the token, and you have the protocol. So basically, 3 lines of code. Okay, you can say 5 lines of code to integrate the MCP. And here I have a prompt. Basically, you are like a web search agent with capabilities. Your tools include, right? So I'm including the tools that are available at Bright Data, giving it some guidelines, and just kind of like, okay, when responding, what to do. So here, for example, I'm asking it, search for the latest news about AI development, right? So if I run that, first, I'm listing all the tools that are available, right? So there's over 60 different tools that are available to the AI agent. And what it will do right now is going to use the search engine, right? So it has the power to do Google search, Bing search, or Yahoo search, any kind of search that it needs to do, and provide you with the results. Now, I know everybody's thinking, well, there is a lot of LLMs that already have the search capabilities built into it. Why use Bright Data? No, zoom in. I'm trying to zoom in. Hold on a second. For some reason, the shortcut is not working. Oh. Might be a bit too much. Better? Okay. So just to run through it, guys, for those that know JavaScript a little bit, here we're basically creating a client, right? With the URL for the MCP server token is embedded in the URL. The Pro one means that you are giving it all the tools that are available. It's like 50 different tools. Without the Pro one, it's just the basic search tools. One that we do is in LangChain, we are creating an LLM, right? So this is basically the API key for the OpenAI. We have the model and the temperature. We have the prompt. The prompt is basically explaining what tools it has, what the guidelines are, what the output should be. Then we are creating an agent, right? So we have the LLM, we have the tools, and we have the prompt. And then pretty much I can tell it anything that I want it to do, and it will have the capabilities of all the Bright Data projects. Now, I do want to go into a little bit what the Bright Data's offerings are. And let's thinking what would be the best way to go about it right now. Computer is having a heart attack. I'm not sure why. I guess the screen sharing is really wow. Yeah, when you screen share, sometimes things just go all wrong. So Bright Data has, as I mentioned before, layers of different products. And the main products that I think will be beneficial for your projects are the search. If you want to perform a Google search, extract the results. The Web Unlocker, if you want to go further and extract the HTMLs of those results. And the Web Scraper API, these are pre-built scrapers, right? So we have hundreds and hundreds of different scrapers for different websites. I don't know, if your project wants, let's say, LinkedIn people profile data, or your projects are with products and you want to compare different products on different platforms. And maybe social media, right? So we do have a lot pre-built social media for Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, or maybe you want to build something with a real estate, right? So it all depending on what projects you have is what data we can use to elevate them. And so maybe what would be also beneficial for everybody is to kind of go over some of the projects that were built with Bright Data. So we did a hackathon about a month ago with DevTO, for those that are familiar. It was based on NAN, and I do want to go over some of the projects that was built there that might give you inspiration or ideas for this hackathon that's coming up, right? So basically, let's go into it, right? So your job finder, for example. I will assume this is probably with LinkedIn Jobs. So somebody build a flow. Yeah, LinkedIn Jobs, of course. LinkedIn Jobs is very popular, right? If you want to, Indeed, right? So Glassdoor. Perfect. So basically, this person integrated the three main things: LinkedIn Jobs, Indeed Jobs, and Glassdoor. Glassdoor probably for the reviews of the company, and Indeed and LinkedIn for actually finding jobs. Just to show you guys that I'm not sure if you're familiar with jobs. I think it's job. We have jobs. So we have a scraper that can extract this data in real time, go perform a search if needed, job title, select the country, select any of these filters, and get you the data that is provided back. One of the use cases that could be interesting. Let's go and see what else is there. Chatbot for hidden places. Right. So basically, this guy created a flow that instead of finding places that are, when you do a search on Google, let's say restaurants, you find all the top places that are advertised. But let's say you want to find something that is not advertised. So what he did is he did a search on Google and on different places, removed everything that is popular and just left things that are not mentioned anywhere. So for you to find those, jewels, something unique that you won't find anywhere else. Also with live data, right? So you need to do a search on Google. You need to find what's popular and then compare it with other results and find those unique gemstones. Amazon SEO product visibility. If, for example, or price comparison. I think that could be an amazing project, right? So let's say that you maybe want to build an app that you will go, let's say, to Amazon and you find a product, you click on it, and then you want to see what are the prices on other websites, let's say Walmart, Target, or anything like that, right? So if you have access to the real-time data, your AI agent could go to all these websites, extract the data, and then kind of provide, well, it's cheaper here. What other projects we can think about, right? Building an unstable AI interview coach, Reddit scraper. Reddit scraper could be very beneficial for those that are on Reddit. A lot of things happen there and a lot of data that you can use let's say that you want maybe to create a automatic newsletter. I don't know, something where you get a newsletter from a Reddit channel, right? So you can have an app scrape the Reddit channel, then LLM process it and kind of create a newsletter that sends out based on what the Reddit channel is talking about. So these are some of the projects that were done on the DevTO. I do want to maybe hear some of the project that you guys are thinking on working with this, so I can hear you, because 2 headphones is just too much. Anybody has something that they were willing to share? I don't know, like I don't attend a lot of hackathons. I don't know how competitive it is, and I don't know how secret it is. Oh, I'm going to build a secret app. Nobody's sharing it. But for those that don't care and would,
my the chatbot for wellness in terms of building challenging thoughts. So
I'm trying to think, like, how can we elevate it with maybe with some public data? But Reddit probably has those wellness channels groups where you can get more information from, right? So you can definitely add extra, maybe coaches. You can follow some of the coaches, maybe some of the.
If you could take Andrew Huberman's brain, you see the famous neuroscientist. If you can take that, because millions of followers in the podcast, you can take his brain and power the chatbot. That's what I would.
Okay, well, maybe you need to train the chatbot on his, did he write books, publications, a lot of content?
There's a lot of content.
You know who it is? Okay.
Yeah, you can talk for 3 hours. And
so if any of that content is behind maybe like a Cloudflare or something like in Reddit, like you can definitely use Bright Data to extract that data, feed it to your AI agent, and then it can process it and actually provide to you whatever the advices that you need based on that data as well, right? So yes, it can definitely elevate you to help you collect that data. YouTube, what about it? You can definitely, yes, you can definitely scrape YouTube. It's very popular with us. You can definitely extract the metadata from it. I mean, I'm not sure if you're going to go into processing videos. That probably would be a little too much. But yes, YouTube will already have pre-built scrapers to extract data from YouTube, from most of the social, TikTok as well, Instagram.
Okay, so like for example, LLMs are already like trained on them.
So if he is already, everything is already trained, I don't know. Again, I'm not really sure who he is and how much data is there. All I can tell you is when LLM has access to real-time data, it hallucinates less because it can always go and check. And I found it when I have the Bright Data MCP actually integrated with the LLM. It's usually on point. Without it, sometimes I'm in 2023 and I'm asking it something about 24. And it's like I don't know the future. Literally happened to me a couple of weeks ago, which was really ridiculous. But if there are points, right? There's already LLMs already pre-trained. There's so much data that is already in them. So if it's already there, then I'm not sure how beneficial it could be. But if we're talking about something now, I don't know, yesterday, there's something that happened yesterday and you want to use it in your app, it won't have it pre-trained. You can go scrape it.
Is actually literally getting deeper away. It's something that is this real? Is there actually going to be a wood from American Star Wars Star Trek?
Fact checker. Right. So this is a really cool use case. Yes, you can definitely do that, right? You can ask it, is this real? And then it can perform searches on Google, Bing, Yandex, different search engines. And then it can scrape the first, 10 results from each one of them. and see what is actually happening, if it's confirmed or not. So yes, real-time data can definitely be beneficial, because just to perform Google search, a lot of LLMs can't perform Google search. They're using different channels. They already have pre-trained, okay, these are the websites for these things, but it doesn't have access to real-time Google search. And that's can be very powerful for your projects, to having this capabilities of what is now. But fact checker, I like that. It's a really cool thing, because there's so much, I do it very often. Is this true? I take an article, throw it in there, and be like, is this real? And there's a lot of times it's not. Yes, for sure. Definitely anything that is where whatever you can access yourself, right? As a human being, with the Bright Data tools, you can access it, right? This is the whole goal. We have tools, we have browsers that imitate human behavior. So if your LLM can actually open a browser, navigate, click things as you would, this is the whole goal, right? If you can access it yourself, with our tools, your LLM or your AI agent can actually access it as well. No, you have to pay. I mean, if you will give it your credit card information and sign it up and go there, then probably yes. But Bright Data doesn't deal with things behind login. We're only dealing with publicly available data. Once you're behind paywall, this is not public data. Rules, terms and conditions of the website applies to you. So please be very careful when you are collecting data behind login, or when you're accepting terms and conditions, because if in terms and conditions it says do not use robots, do not scrape, do not automate, and you do it, it gives the legal way for the company that owns the website to sue you. And there's a lot of people that got sued. So we don't go that way. There's so much public data out there that you don't need to go behind paywall or behind logins. What's the output? The output could be whatever. Here, for example, you can tell it. You can tell it output. If we're talking about an AI agent, if you're going to be doing it like this way, just kind of have the AI and do everything for you, you can tell it output double dots and tell it what the output should be, and it was going to build it for you. Yeah, it can do it for you the way exactly how you define it, right? So sometimes it's a little hard to predefine AI. I find it sometimes like a wild horse, and it's giving you wild things. It's put it out there, put it out there. But in general, lately it's been doing a good job, right?
We're right at time.
Okay, guys, sorry. It feels like I have so much more to share, but not enough time.
So what we can do is like first the Bright Data, the promo link, can you drop it into the Discord? So it gives you, looks like $100 promo code.
Yes.
So I just signed it up and I got it immediately. So you should definitely sign it up, because then you can use all the stuff that it showed for free or until $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So guys, again, who didn't scan, you get a $100 bonus. $100 gets you a lot, right? I mean, it will be definitely more than enough for these projects. And also, of course, I'm going to be here on Saturday. So for those that, I don't know, right now don't feel like sharing, want to have a one-on-one session about integrating public real-time data, I'm there. Always willing to help.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Go.